Good evening everyone and welcome to the TTL Classic Series. We are here for round 3 of the championship tonight as we take in the Canadian Grand Prix from the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. Good evening everyone, I am James Head, going to be taking you through the action here tonight. Unfortunately, I'm only going to be here by myself tonight. Commentalist Aidan Carter is sadly ill tonight. He's got a cough and sadly he will not be here tonight because of that. So he's taken the night off, he's resting up, and I'm sure he'll be tuning into the stream. So please send your best wishes to him in the comment section, and I'm sure he will be back fitter than ever next week for the final round of the TTL Classic Series. So you've got me tonight on a solo commentary, which I think is not too bad. Obviously we've got Canada, we've got about 6 minutes to go until the start of the TTL Classic Series here tonight in Canada. Remember, 2 races here tonight, both one-shot qualifying, both 25% races. The starting grid of course is based off qualifying, and we've got clear weather for both races. What does clear weather mean? You're going to see no chance of rain, not like 2011 in Canada where we had biblical proportions of rain and we had one of the most insane races probably of the 2010 decade. But as I say, good evening everyone, I'm James. I'm going to be taking you through the action as always. And for the Classic Series, we've got the driver's standings for you. Navy is currently leading out on top by 32 points to Mashiro in second on 85 points. That Red Bull's really going a great gun. I've got to say, the TTL F1 League 2 champion, defending champion from last season, Mashiro in second on 85 points. Navy on 117, Mashiro on 85, that's the 32 point gap. Venom is in third and the Ferrari on 68 points. It's very good to see the top 3 drivers out on track, all in different cars, which I think is fantastic within the standings. The rest of the top 10 is not the case. We've suddenly got McLarens and Red Bulls galore. Charlie is in 4th on 62 points. There's a tie for 5th between Sean and Siege on 54 points, tied for 5th. Conti is in 7th on 49 points. Maze is in 8th with Zero tied for 8th as well on 45 points. Of course, Zero running the Red Bull, and Jeffrey running the Red Bull as well. He is 10th on 40. The other guys that I mentioned, all of course in the McLaren. 11th for Bart on 38 points. Where's Bart? 11th on 38 points. Unbelievable. Graham is in 12th on 26 points. Casper in 13th on 21. Chapelletti in 14th on 20. And Honey Badger in Superhero, Kelvin and Storm have not scored points just yet. I will come on to a couple of new drivers that we've got in the meantime as well. But should be fantastic racing as always here in TTL F1, the TTL Classic Series I should say. And to put on record, congratulations as well to Graham Chappell. Graham, of course, being there in the Ferrari. He has now joined our commentary team here in TTG, so he is going to be part of the team next season for TTML, which is going to be very exciting. The Irishman, of course, with a vast array of knowledge, he is going to be coming in as part of the TTG comms team, which I think is fantastic. Of course, send your well wishes to him as well as to Aidan, bless him, in the comments section. As I say, we've got about 4 minutes to go, 3 minutes actually to go now, so I'm going to check through the comments section. I also needed to get my trusty track map, which I haven't got currently, so I'm going to get my trusty track map now. If you bear with me with 1 second, I shall get the Canadian track map up. Hopefully I have got one save of the Canadian track map. It'll look quite foolish if I haven't, to be honest. Let's see, where is it? Sorry guys, I will be with you in literally a second. Just trying to find the map. I was thinking that was it, but it's Australia. The joys of a commentator. The joys of a solo commentary here, where you haven't got a track map at hand. But I know for a fact there it is. 14 corners out on track, 3 DRS zones across the track as well, 1 down the start finish straight, 1 down towards the middle sector, halfway through the middle sector down towards turn 8, which is the tricky chicane at the back end of the park, and then through down the long straight, essentially down the back straight, down 11, through 11, 12, and then down into the wall of champion chicane through 13 and 14. Going to be very interesting, I think, to see some of the action out on track tonight. I've just been doing a few time trial laps there myself around here in Canada, and I've got to say, Navy was quickest out of the time trial times, and hopefully that might be the case here tonight. But the cars will be, I think, very hard to handle, especially if you've got an oversteering setup and you haven't really got any stability in the cars. If there's no stability in the cars, you pretty much had it, I think, going on the curbs of the corners, and you pretty much had it especially in towards the hairpin at turn 10, where you are so prone and so easy, I think, to lose that back end. Hopefully we're not going to be seeing any pit stops or anything like that tonight. It's just going to be full 18 laps worth of racing, 36 laps in total if you combine the second race in, but we have got 2 races for you tonight in Canada. Just over an hour's worth of action I think we're going to be getting here tonight in Canada. Good evening to everyone, by the way, that is tuning in, to the 6 of you that are tuning in currently in my top right hand screen. There are going to be we are going to get underway in about a minute's time or so. There might be a couple of drivers that are running a little late, so that's why I'm going to check through the Discord now and see what is occurring in terms of any thoughts leading up into the race. Just with invites for Navy, it seems, but Navy has been given those invites out respectfully. Remember, it's one-shot qualifying, 25%, it's strict corner cutting as well, and it's needless to say, I think everyone should keep it clean, I think, out on track. We have had some very good racing. We should have a lot of overtaking here as well tonight in Canada. It should be one of those races that could be quite a legendary race. It could also be a legendary track as well, and as I say, I'm going to be taking you through it all tonight with Hayden missing in action, sadly. And before we start, actually, I want to pay tribute as well to Alex Zanardi. It was confirmed today that he's going to remain in an induced coma in Italy after his hand biking accident for another week or so doctors can assess his condition in a week's time. Our thoughts, and I'm sure all of you guys' thoughts, are with Alex Zanardi and his friends and family. What I'm sure is a really difficult time currently, and it's horrible, and hopefully Alex Zanardi will make as full a recovery as possible, given the circumstances. Obviously, current former Paralympic champion in 2012 around Brands Hatch, and a former Formula 1 driver as well. He is part of the family at the end of the day, and Alex Zanardi, I'm sure he will get better soon. But obviously, we are just about to start. 20 seconds now on the clock until we get down into one-shot qualifying. Who are your bets on? Who are your predictions for tonight? Of course, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and tick that notification bell as well so you are notified when we go live. The next time, of course, we will be live will be Thursday for TTL Sprint Cup, the TTL F1 Sprint Cup, which is going to take place, of course, on Thursday. And then next Friday, we have got a very special event, and I'll come on to that at the end of it. It's going to be a 5-lapper championship to really mark the end of the Formula 1 2019 game. And I know on that week after, I'm going to be getting the game F1 2020, which is fantastic. And you'll see me fresh as a daisy on the new game as well. But we are now coming into qualifying. One-shot qualifying, of course, here really determines the men against the boys, I think, this track. And we should see again the McLaren to the fore, especially down the straight, but the corners here will, I think, favour the Red Bull more than anything. So Mashiro could be getting a very good tune out of that car. We've also got Zero, and we've also got Jeffrey in the cars as well. Jeffrey missing here tonight, and Zero missing tonight for that matter as well. Mashiro is here though, so he's representing the Red Bull gang, and I'm sure the Red Bulls will be doing quite well. Favour the McLarens though, favour the Red Bulls, maybe even stick the Ferraris in there as well. Could be quite an open qualifying session. I think the 30-second countdown has just started. I'm going to have a tune into the comment section just to see how you guys are doing on this fine and very muggy Tuesday evening. Goodness me, I'm sweating at this moment in time. So this is going to be quite a difficult commentary, I think. Get well soon, Aiden says Maze. Joe Callboy is tuned in. Joe Callboy, of course, TTG Callboy. He's joined recently the TTG team. And Michelle was saying he's going to be eaten alive on the straight. Well, the corners are going to be quite key, I think, for the Red Bull. And speaking of a Red Bull, we're on board with Casper, who is on a lap. So the Finn down towards turn 1. And now through turn 2. This is where the corners, especially through the first and maybe even the final corners, will be the point where the Red Bulls might be quite quicker. Venom on top currently from Graham Charlie Honey Badger. That's going to change the left hand side of your screen numerous times. Venom has actually retired from the session, might have been validated. 20.4 though from Casper through the first sector. Oh, he gets a little bit of a Vettel slide on in 2011 there. Oh, and he hits the wall as well. Not sure if there was any end plate damage on that car. Let's have a look from the broadcast cam and see. Don't think there's was any visible damage, which is good to see. Casper through the chicane through turn 7 and 8, now through the kink at turn 9, and then into the hairpin at turn 10. Right at the top of the hill, 43.7 currently out on track. For Casper, I should say, right at the top of the track, not to the top of the hill, because there's no elevation change, or hardly any elevation change here in Canada. Casper now down the straight. They'll be wanting DRS and ERS and everything like that. Sadly, they can't get it. Sean, Graham and Mays currently up towards the top end of the field. Chapelletti looks like he might have invalidated his dual poorly, but Casper now in the final corner through the wall of champion chicane, looking very nice indeed across the line. Mashima would have been quickest. He's had a lot of invalidations there actually. Navy has been disqualified. Casper's finished 6th. We'll take you through who got on top. I think it was Sean, if I'm not mistaken, who was on top. So, grid order, and it is Sean by 0.03 of a second from Charlie. A very mixed grid, I've got to say, here in Canada. Everyone picking up invalidations, it seems, from 8th downwards. Sean on top from Charlie in 2nd, Graham in 3rd. How close is that for a top 3? 0.05 of a second between the McLaren and the Ferrari. Mays in 4th with Siege in 5th. Mays actually only 0.2 off Sean as well. Siege in 5th, Casper in 6th, Honey Badger in 7th. They were the ones that actually managed to get a lap in. Bart, Cowboy, Venom, Chapelletti, Conti, Dave M, and Casper, but not the... Casper, sorry, finished 6th. The other driver, I think, at the bottom. We'll confirm that for you in just a second. But we are now into the clear blue skies once again of the Canadian sky. Of course, this is a purpose-built island that the Grand Prix is held around. Can you name, however, this is your quiz question for the night, no Googling with this, who won the 2010 Canadian Grand Prix, which car, and what was the fastest lap in the race? If you know all 3 of those, I'll be very surprised, and you get a bonus brownie point off me. So there's your quiz question for tonight. I will check the comment section in a little while to see if you have commented the right answer, and I'll check that myself as well, because I don't know who won 2010 off the top of my head. Sean, no, it was Mashiro down in 14th position, but Sean now underway, and the cars now filter off the grid. Of course, everyone running the dry compound of tyre. There are only 2 compounds of tyres for these classic cars. It's the dry or the wet. Remember, it was the prime and option compound of tyre back in the day. No prime and option compound of tyre in F1 2019, so everyone has got to stick to the dry compounds. Don't expect any pit stops here either, unless the tyre wear gets very, very bad, or if drivers go for a potential fastest lap out on track. So, Sean leading us through, Charlie in 2nd. Gotta be honest, the strategy, we should see a lot of good overtaking, I think, in terms of the action out on the track. We should see the guys further down the field, like the likes of Navy, the likes of Venom as well. Expect to see quite a few overtakes, possibly, as long as they get the slipstream down the straight. That is going to be the key to any overtaking here tonight. If anybody tries and dives it into the chicane, 2 by 2 they go, it won't really work, I don't think. So they've got to try... Drivers have essentially got to be on the air of caution, especially in these opening laps, but also try and aggressively get the move done down the straight rather than into the corner. Because into the corner, they're going to be at a bad advantage, I think. They're going to be at a disadvantage rather than them being up the straight, where they'll be at advantage. Bit of a mouthful to say. Hopefully that read into your minds nicely. But we have got the cars now coming onto the grid. There's been a couple of collisions actually out on the track. But the formation lap now ending. My top 3 for tonight for Canada is Graham for the win. I'm going to go Honey Badger 2nd, and I'm going to go for Venom for 3rd. There is my top 3 here tonight. Normally these wild and wacky predictions in the Classic Series have not paid off. I don't think we've got a prediction right so far, myself and Aidan. But the first of 2 races about to begin, and the green flags and the 5 red lights will come on very shortly indeed. So, are you ready? The drivers are ready, but are you? The 5 red lights are about to go out here in Canada for round 5, race 5 of the TTL Classic Series, and it is right down the way we go. Good start by Sean, cuts across onto Charlie. Good start by Venom further down the field as well. Siege has got a good start past Mays. Mays bucking down off the start slightly. Ferrari going in hell for leather and behind. I think that might have been Chapelletti, but Sean lead from Charlie, and Graham trying to get the move done around the outside. Not quite, but Sean's already got an 8/10 lead Down towards turn 3, the side-by-side in the background, though. Venom trying to go side-by-side with Honey Badger. I think he might have got the move done on Bart actually there as well. So Venom up to 8th, he's right on the back of Honey Badger. Oh, and Bart's lost it into the gravel. The Bart's lost it into the wall, similar to Brendan Hartley's crash in 2018. And Bart sadly is out of the race. Casper has spun it as well, so the Red Bull's really struggling early on. Bart out of the race, Casper has spun. Up front though, it's Sean who leads, from Charlie in second, Graham in third, but look at Siege hammering onto the back of the Ferrari. You can tell the McLaren speed, trying to go around the outside now into the hairpin. See if you can pull it off. Graham on the inside line, Siege around the outside line. They're going to be side by side. It's a drag race pretty much down towards the wall of champion chicane through 13 and 14. I think Siege has got that drag and he's got the move done. So Siege up to third, Graham up to fourth. Hasn't got the speed to win that Ferrari to try and catch back up. We've got Maze trying to, Honey Badger trying to go for a move on there on Maze. But at the end of lap 1, it's Sean who leads, Charlie in second, Siege in third, Graham in fourth. Look at Honey Badger right on the back of Maze. We could see potential overtake here by the Dutchman on the brakes. Very close to action there. Venom trying to force his way past as well. Chapelletti's got up positions. He dropped down to 11th earlier on, but Chapelletti now, as Venom tries to go for an overtake on Honey Badger. Down the inside he comes. Good respect between them both. Venom not going to go for the move. I think that gap would have cut off anyways. Very good racing so far, and look, it's Chapelletti's run on the back of Venom. Two Ferraris about to go at him. We've got the two McLarens ahead. Maze maybe holding up a little bit of a train here. Honey Badger in behind him. Venom just caught for a little bit of pace in the Ferrari. Chapelletti as well. Maybe he's gained a few positions early off the start. But out in front, 1.3 seconds the gap. Sean leads, Charlie second. Now the only two that have stayed neutral in the race so far. Honey Badger looking to get a move done on Maze. It could be Swan Power essentially for Maze as Honey Badger goes a little bit too deep, trying to go around the outside. Can he get the move done? Oh, and Honey Badger has actually got the move done. Fantastic move there by the Dutchman. You might not saw it on the camera angle, but that was fantastic stuff from Honey Badger. And look at the action in behind as well. Venom trying to get the move done on Chapelletti, and Chapelletti actually got up to 7th. Maze down the inside of Honey Badger. Good respect between everyone. Chapelletti 3 second time penalty. Nearly 3 wide as Navy has retired through the wall of champion chicane. So Navy is out of the race. Championship leader going no further part in the race. Venom and Chapelletti and Maze are all fighting off. Maze dropping now down into 8th position. Chapelletti and Venom are having a good battle as well. Great stuff. Conti has came into the pit lane for 5 second penalty. He's got 5 second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, all out of shape there. Chapelletti. Venom on the back. Trying to go for a potential move around the outside. Venom, the Scotsman against the German of Chapelletti. Tell you what, the two Ferraris are going hell for leather here. This is fantastic racing. Aiden, you're really missing this one if I've got to be honest. Venom on the back of Chapelletti. 2x2 into the chicane again. Venom, very, very cool on the brakes. And wants to let Chapelletti get in the position for now. Sean out in front though. Charlie second. Siege in third. Graham went down to 4th. Here comes Venom again. Could force Chapelletti into a bit of mistake, and I think he's exactly done that. Venom on the inside line. Chapelletti on the traction, and Chapelletti on the pure traction and the pure speed. A little bit of moment there from Venom coming out the corner. Chapelletti's spoon, he's up to 6th, but for how long? Because here comes Venom coming back at him. The two Ferraris are still side by side. They're almost glued together coming down to the wall of champion chicane, and in the end it has to be Venom's position. Venom is spoon, he's up to 6th. Chapelletti gave him the room. He could go for the move down towards turn 1. Look at Mashiro on the background as well, on the back of Maze. No position gains there for Chapelletti on the back of Venom, however. Mashiro on the back of Maze. Cowboy trying to catch up, he's lost position early on. Casper after his spin has lost 5 positions. Conti obviously coming into the pit as a result of damage and a result of speeding into the pit lane as well. Goodness me, I'm taking off my feet. Sean leads the way from Charlie in second, Siege in third. But look at the battle for 4th. Honey Badger and Graham, 4/10 of a second. Honey Badger clearly having a better race than what has been the case, I think, for Honey Badger currently. He's only scored 8 points this season. He's looking to try and get the move done. We'll try and cut on board with Mashiro and Maze in just a second. In fact, we'll cut on board with that now because they're going to be pretty much side by side in towards the hairpin. Maze hanging on for 8th position for now. Can Honey Badger get the move done on Graham? Graham got a bit of a better exit there than Honey Badger out of the hairpin. Can he try and get the move done? Siege trying to stay consistent behind Charlie, but he's not close enough for any sort of move. Neither is Honey Badger here. Mashiro trying to go side by side with Maze. In fact, it's 2/10 off. Going down to the wall of champion chicane once again. On to lap 5 we go. Sean leads, Charlie second, Siege in third. Venom, new fastest lap of the race. Look at Honey Badger on the back of Graham as well. There is Venom. It's in the Ferraris. The Ferraris have got good pace around here, it seems. Or certainly Venom's got good pace around here. and is scything his way potentially into contention. Oh, as a bit of end plate damage comes up from Honey Badger. Right side end plate damage for Honey Badger coming through turn 3. And unfortunately for him, he's going to have that damage maybe until the end of the race if he continues on. I would continue on certainly with that damage and try and pick up as best a result as possible. Venom on the back of Honey Badger. Remember, we run an extended point system here in the TTL Classic Series. So this is where these guys are really going to be picking up the points. They've got to stay in the race. All positions bar 20th. No 20th position, obviously, because of the amount of drivers we've got here. That is the penalty system out on the point system out on track. Here comes Siege on the back of Charlie. Look at the speed of Siege going past Charlie. Can he get the move done? He's around the outside. Charlie John trying to hold the inside line. He doesn't. Siege through and he's up to second. Good move there on Charlie. 3-second time penalty for Honey Badger. You can see how much damage that is costing him and how much straight line speed that's cost him as well, because here comes Venom down the inside line very late on the brakes. I'll tell you what, that's opportunistic, and he's gone across. Honey Badger going across like Massa back in the day and Sergio Perez. Honey Badger now down to 6th position. Could you call that a bit of a force off? I think Venom, to be honest, the gap was there to go for. Bit of a 50-50, I think, let's put it that way. Mashiro's gone through on Maze as well, so Maze now down to P9. Now, I thought he had damage. He does. He's got left side end plate damage, I do believe, on that McLaren, unless I'm totally wrong. No, he has got left side end plate damage. That's my fault, that's my eyesight. Venom on the back of Graham now. Look at the speed of Venom coming into this race. It's Irishman against Scotsman. It's like the battle of the devolved administrations out on track, if I've got to be honest, between these two Ferraris. It's the Irishman and the Scotsman out on track, and now the Scotsman, Venom, closing in on Graham. Can he get the move done? 190 mile an hour, he's topping out at nearly 18,000 RPM. Venom cannot get the move done on the back of Graham. 17,500 RPM before these cars reach. Venom on the back, trying to go around the outside on Graham, down in towards turn 1. Got the inside line for turn 2, doesn't opt to go for the move. I think that's fair play, I think, from Venom. Just trying to see if the gap is there, and he's just holding a little bit of consistency, which is good to see. Graham might be holding him up. Honey Badger is holding up Schiaparelli for sure. Schiaparelli will be wanting to force his way through, I think, here. The German on the back of the Dutchman. But 1 lap 7, Sean leads 1.2 seconds. Siege in second, Charlie in third. The top 3 really haven't changed the last few laps. The battles are happening further down the field. Graham in 4th, Venom in 5th, Honey Badger in 6th, Schiaparelli is in 7th, Mashiro in 8th, Maze in 9th, Cowboy in 10th position. Casper and Conti obviously continuing on for the points. Here comes Venom switching to the inside line on Graham. A little bit of contact there with the rear end. And there is Schiaparelli down the inside of Honey Badger as well. Right side of end plate damage. Remember, Honey Badger has got. Schiaparelli will try and get the speed down the straight. But you can see just visibly down the straight, the McLaren is slightly quicker down the straight. Schiaparelli, even with the slipstream, not even getting close down into the down into the chicane. Sean has made a mistake out in front. Actually, Siege has picked up the pace massively. Venom now on the back of Graham. Has he got the inside line? Yes, he does. Is Venom through for 4th? Just about. Graham's trying to hold it. Venom just crushed them off against him, against onto the curb slightly. But, to be honest, I think that's Venom's position. Venom up to 4th, Graham down to 5th. It brings Honey Badger and Schiaparelli into play. Battle for the lead developing as well. Sean and Siege, how many times have we seen these guys battle in TTL F1 League 1 last season? Sean and Siege, hopefully good and providing some good results here for them both. Siege has gained 3 positions out on track. Sean has gained nothing. 6 positions gained, by the way, for both Venom and Mashiro. They're the chief gainers, I think, out of this race. But Sean leads on Siege in 2nd, Charlie in 3rd. It's all got a little bit stale, which is good for me and good for my voice. Schiaparelli trying to go down the inside here on Honey Badger. Has to get the superior exit. He's now closer this time around. Much closer this time. He's going to try and bump draft him, I think, down the straight. He will lose speed now because he's out on the slipstream. You can see Honey Badger just visibly pulling away. Schiaparelli, nothing to do about it. He's into the back of him. Picks up a 3-second time penalty. Honey Badger very lucky actually to get away with that and get away that cleanly through the corner. Here comes Mashiro. There was a mistake in the back end there, I think, from Cowboy. Mashiro sets a new fastest lap of the race, 111.9. And everyone out on track, you can see that Conti's the only one that has changed his tyres essentially out on track. He's the only one that's been into the pit lane out on track as well. There's the gap to the leaders. Oh, Machiro trying to go down the inside there with Schiaparelli, I should say. Getting quite excited. I can't keep up with some of these drivers sometimes. Machiro looking though like he's on the back of Schiaparelli. In terms of the Red Bull against the Ferrari, I would say advantage Red Bull. To be honest, Honey Badger having to take the escape road, and here comes Machiro. Slight mistake there from Schiaparelli, the side by side, running up the hill, running up the top of the end of the track towards turn 10, round the hairpin, round the outside goes Machiro. Can he get the move done? The defending TTL F1 League 1 champion forces Schiaparelli out of the way. Brilliant move around the outside of Machiro, but now it's a drag straight, it's a drag race pretty much down to the chicane once again, and you can see the Ferrari just coming out on top. Schiaparelli on the inside line, Machiro on the outside line. Machiro backs out, fair play to him. Schiaparelli is back through and he's up into 7th. Great racing here out on track. Venom sets the new fastest lap of the race with a 1:11.8. He's currently in 4th and is eating into Charlie's advantage. That gap was 2.9 seconds the last time I looked a lap ago. So now 1.8 seconds. So he's getting 1.1 seconds out on track. Just fantastic to see. Got a bit of a battle going on further down the field as well. This is Casper on the back of Cowboy. Casper certainly trying to recover. Oh, Cowboy into the wall. Cowboy into the wall, makes a mistake through turn 4. And that is him now carrying right side end plate damage as well. So we've got 2 McLarens out on track, Honey Badger and Cowboy, now picking up right side end plate damage pretty much at the same corner as well. Gap for the leaders, 3.5 tenths. Machiro though trying to desperately get his way back through here on Schiaparelli. Oh, very late on the brakes there. Siege though on the back of Sean. This is for the battle for the lead. Here comes Siege on the back of Sean. These two of course have been around the part of the furniture, let's just say, here in TTTV. Sean leading the way from Siege in 2nd, but Siege making a slight mistake there. Here comes Schiaparelli onto the back of Honey Badger. Honey Badger's doing really well with that front wing damage. That right side of end plate damage, you can see it visibly as he comes through shot. Schiaparelli trying to get the move done down towards turn 1, he can't. Machiro is on the back as well. Cowboy has retired, that is through the wall of champion chicane. So Cowboy out of the race. Unfortunate for him, he had right side end plate damage after that mistake earlier on in the lap. A gap, by the way, between Venom and Charlie is 0.6 of a second. Charlie is desperately struggling out on track. Be hoping for curves or something like that. Out on track, Venom, in the meantime, is hunting right on the back of him. And here comes Machiro hunting on the back of Schiaparelli as well. Who said classics weren't... who said classics were boring? I didn't. Siege on the back of Sean, Venom on the back of Charlie, Machiro on the back of Schiaparelli. 3 battles that we can't really split, to be honest. Here comes Venom on the back of Charlie. Don't think Siege is going to be close enough down into the chicane. However, Venom is. Charlie on the inside, on the outside line. Venom down the inside line. Charlie trying to force his way through. Here comes Venom down the inside. Brilliant move. Brilliant pinpoint accuracy there by the Scotsman. And he's through. Charlie couldn't do really anything about that, to be honest. Venom through, and he's up to 3rd. Charlie down to 4th now. Honey Badger on the back of Graham. Graham can now coming back to these guys. Might be struggling slightly with left side end plate damage. Graham has got left side end plate damage, so that is why he is struggling out on track. We'll try and go visibly on board with him to pinpoint that left side end plate damage and get a good camera angle first of all. There it is, left side end plate damage. Oh, actually, no, he hasn't. That's just my complete and utter eyesight right there. Again, failing me. Honey Badger on the back of Graham. Graham certainly has dropped the pace though nonetheless, and here comes Honey Badger. Is he going to go for the inside line? No, he doesn't. It's good to see all F1 sponsors Honey Badger all out of shape. Save of the race so far, my god. He was sideways, Ken block style. Schiaparelli's diving it down the inside of Honey Badger. Honey Badger gets out of the way, and unfortunately for him, Honey Badger I think might have picked up a little bit more damage, but Machiro on the back of Schiaparelli. That was very late from Schiaparelli. Bit too risky, to be honest, from him. Machiro will have a look at that one. Honey Badger weaving in the background. You can see him pretty much, I wouldn't say disgusted with that, but certainly a lot has been happening. Machiro is up to 6th. Oh, and Schiaparelli's had a spin. Schiaparelli's had a spin. We've got a battle for the lead. I can't keep up. I wish Aiden was here so I could keep up with all of this action. Sean leading the way. Siege in 2nd. But look at Venom. Venom has came from the clouds, quite literally. Is he channeling his inner Fernando Alonso right here Venom is on the back of these two, hunting them down. It's 8 tenths per second, separating the top 3 out on track. Unfortunately for Chapelletti, he picked up that front wing damage, so he's now down into 8th position. Honey Badger's 7th, so Mashiro down to 6th as well, and he's trying to get onto the back of Graham. Try and cut on board with everything if we possibly can. I can't keep up, sadly, on some of them. Casper on the back of Maze. Finn trying to get the move done on the McLaren. Let's watch this up until the hairpin, I think, to be honest. Is Casper going to get the move done? Down it down the inside. This takes a deeper an outside line. I think Mays actually should come out on top. There is the McLaren, and he's through once again. He's still in 9th position. Oh, very sideways there from Venom. Coming out the wall of Champion Chicane with the final corners at 13 and 14. Casper on the outside line of Mays. Not quite close enough. Oh, change of direction there from Mays. Oh, and Casper's lost it. Casper's lost it. Did very well, actually, to keep it out the wall. Get a J-turn going, and he's back underway. Yeah, Casper gets the J-turn going, and he's back underway, which is good to see. Mashiro on the back of Graham. Venom, in the meantime, on the back of Siege. It is lap 14 out of 18. Sean leads the way. Siege in 2nd, Venom in 3rd, and now, actually, Sean is trying to gap Siege out front. But Venom will be hoping that Ferrari is quick enough to get past both of these McLarens and to win the race. Venom, let's see what he does. Down into the hairpin. Stays behind him for now. I think. Again, just taking the wider line there for Siege. Getting him that bit of an advantage. Remember, no DRS, no ERS, no KERS. Nothing like that back in the day in 2010. And on the back, you can see how he's revving out at nearly 18,000 RPM. Sean picks up a 3-second time penalty. That could be a gift for Venom. He's on the back of Siege. Look at the straight line speed of this Ferrari. Can he get the move done? Lap 15 on to we go. Sean leads. Siege just going in a little bit too deep there. Venom trying to switch it back. He's on the inside line. This is what he did before in the opening lap. A little bit of lag back there, actually. Venom is going to commit the move down the inside. Brilliant stuff. If it wasn't for the lag back, he wouldn't have got that move done. But fair play, he turns a negative potentially into a positive. And Venom defends the inside line mightily so. And he's through. He's up to 2nd. Venom takes full advantage. Slight lag back. If he moved a little bit to the left, there would have been an instant collision right there. Inches apart, but Venom is through and he's up to 2nd, and now he's got to try and drag Siege back into this. It's 1.1 seconds ago. Look at the speed that Venom has got. It's 9 tenths already. Venom is absolutely charging through this race. Quite unbelievable to see, to be honest. Sean leads, Venom 2nd, Siege in 3rd. We're on board with Mashiro now. We are nearly at the end of lap 15. Only 3 more to go after this, and remember there's a 2nd race to come as well, which we should get done probably for 9 o'clock. Sean leading the way, Venom 2nd, Siege in 3rd. Charlie 4th, with Graham in 5th, Mashiro in 6th. Mashiro's driven a very good race, actually. He's in 8th position, so has Venom, actually, out on the track. So both of them have driven very astute and technical races as well. Honey Badger 7th. Chapelletti's struggling with more filming damage and a 3-second time penalty. Mays just caught off a little bit flat-footed there out of the corner. Can he try and get the move done? And the outside, Chapelletti dives. And the outside, you can change the position into the corner. Mays trying to go all the way around the outside here on Chapelletti. Not quite. Doesn't have that straight line speed out of the corner to try and get that move done for now. Halfway through lap 16, 2.5 laps to go. It is, oh, Venom, very close to the wall there. Here comes Sean, though, and Venom trying to go around the outside. Oh, there's a little bit of contact between them both. Sean really wants this. Venom wants it even more, I think, now. That little bit of contact might have just spurred him on. Venom on the back of Sean. Venom's been an absolute revelation this race, even in Canada. He had a good qualifying. Then it would have been, I think, his race to lose. Mason's gone through on Chapelletti. That was down just before the hairpin. Venom on the back of Sean. This is for the lead of the race. 2 laps to go. Sean leads. Venom in 2nd. Oh, they made contact. They've made contact. And I can't believe what we've just seen. Sean and Venom have crashed from the lead of the race. I'm not really sure who was at fault there, to be honest. Mashiro, in the meantime, is through on Graham and Honey Badger. He's up to 3rd. I can't believe what I've just seen. Sean and Venom, 50-50, I think. Talk about that one in the comments section, please. Give your opinion on that. Oh, my goodness me. It looked to me to be honest, as if they both might have moved their line simultaneously and the contact was then made. I'm not sure. Answers on a postcard, please, for that one. Siege now granted the win. Pretty much out on track. Absolute drama in Canada. I'm sure there'll be some choice words after that between them both, Sean and Venom. But now promotes the guys down the bottom. Conti, bless him. He's been going on. He came into the pit. He's been going on since lap, what, 15? Lap 3, sorry, when he came into the pits. And he's still going. He's now in 8th position. He can't even write it. Siege takes across the line. Onto the final lap we go. Charlie in 2nd. Mashiro in 3rd. Honeybadge is going to finish 5th at this race as well. He's doing a fantastic job in that McLaren. You can see them filtering through, both Graham and Mashiro trying to battle it out. In the meantime, Conti's gone through in Schiaparelli. In fact, Schiaparelli has gone to the back of the field. So Schiaparelli, not sure what's going on here with Schiaparelli. He has got left side end plate damage. He's revving it in 1st gear. Quite strange. I hope he's not waiting for Siege or Charlie. This is being caught on stream, remember. Siege, though, they're coming through the hairpin. So Siege better come through the hairpin now. Charlie in 2nd, Mashiro in 3rd currently at this stage. Schiaparelli has got back underway, I do believe. Yep, yellow flags are gone. He might be going for might be going for the fastest lap actually out on track. Siege now on through the final corner. And it looks to me as if Siege is going to win. 3 seconds the gap. There is Schiaparelli coming across the line. Does not want to complete the other lap, I think. Yeah, he doesn't. Siege across the line. And Schiaparelli didn't really want to finish that lap. Came across the line at the same time. Charlie's finished 2nd in the meantime. Mashiro in 3rd. Graham in 4th. Honeybadger in 5th. Graham promoted to 3rd of his little penalties. Graham up to 3rd. Mashiro 4th. Honeybadger in 5th. Mays has driven a very astute race as well. Taken the race by the scruff of the neck. He's finished in 6th position. He'll be very happy with that result, I think. Conti getting closed down by Casper, who's on fresher tyres. Maybe another 2 laps for these two and we would see a good battle. But Conti going to currently come across the line in 7th, providing there's no penalties. Casper going to be across the line in 8th position. You can see Casper going for it. Can he get fastest lap of the race? Right at the death here. Casper across the line. No, he doesn't, but he gains on Conti. So Casper, I think, across the line in 7th in the end. And Conti across the line in 8th position. Unbelievable stuff. That's the first race over and done with here in the TTL Classic Series, and it is the man of the moment, Siege, who inherits the victory after drama. Onto the final 2 laps of the race. Venom and Sean coming together. As I say, there's probably a few choice words going on right now between them both, but fantastic win for Siege out on track, and he takes the race 1 victory. Charlie 2nd, of course, and Graham getting himself onto the podium as a result of penalties. We'll give you the full rundown of that order in just a second. Siege, who takes it by 6 seconds in the end. Charlie had a 3-second time penalty, so wouldn't have got close. Graham finishing with no penalties in 3rd. Mashiro finishing in 4th. Honeybadger in 5th. Mays in 6th. Casper in 7th. Conti in 8th. Schiaparelli in 9th. All of them get points, so all 9 that finished get points. Because Schiaparelli obviously was a lap down, but he finished as a human car. Sean, Venom, Cowboy, Dave M, Navy, and FC Bart don't get any points at all. And in fact, for Bart, he didn't even make it through the first couple of corners. So Bart crashing out of the race in dramatic style. Hopefully he'll be hoping for a better second race. McLaren 1-2, Siege and Charlie. Graham finishing in 3rd as well. Hopefully you enjoyed that first race. Second race still to come, and I'm going to tune into the comment section now to see how you guys are doing. Venom, Navy, me, it was on time trial. I think that was the order, I'm pretty sure, that I saw as well on time trial. So that was Maze confirming that in the comment section. Hopefully you guys, as I say, are doing very well out on wherever you are viewing this from, wherever you're viewing the stream from, or if you're on catchback, hello. But we have got a second race coming up here in Canada. Canada, and as you can tell, my voice is beginning to struggle, so goodness knows what Aiden is currently like at this moment in time. I know he's lost his voice, bless him, and I really don't want to bother him, but I was going to try and tune in for a little interview with him, but no, for the sake of him, I'm not going to do that out on track here tonight. In any words, you'll probably hear me through the iPad, and the stream will probably go down at the same time as well. But we have got 30 seconds now until the second race is about to begin. Siege taking the full amount of points out on track from Charlie in second, Graham in third. What is the second race going to throw up? Navy not finishing gives Mashiro now a better look into the championship standings. So can he produce the goods? I think it's actually all being separated by a couple of points coming into tonight. Honey Badger now picking up an extra few points for fifth. And now we are getting underway once again. One shot qualifying, 25%, exactly the same race as you've just seen, and exactly the same format. We're going to get going here for race 2. Who are your predictions on? Please let me know in that comment section. And it should be fantastic to see the action out on track. And again, I'm absolutely sweating. It is so warm. I don't know why houses here up in the northeast were not built with any air conditioning or any fans or anything like that. I'm absolutely sweating giving this commentary, so I do apologise in advance if this is broadcast live, which it is. But it should be quite interesting, I think, and obviously we're going to be seeing some fantastic racing, I think, out on track, and hopefully we're going to see a even better one-shot qualifying session with hopefully more finishers out on track. We'll probably go on board, I think, with Casper once again, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to have to get one of them handheld fans, I think, for Thursday night. But we are now better get going. 30-second countdown was underway. I think we've only got a couple of seconds until we go in, and yes we do, and we go on board in fact with Honey Badger. So Honey Badger hoping for a good result here in the McLaren. One of the quickest on time trial, I do believe, Honey Badger. He's now through turns 1 and 2 safely. Now up the slight rise towards turn 3. Venom Mashiro, Honey Badger. Turns 3 and 4 will catch people out, and catches Honey Badger out, and that is a pure commentator's curse right there. And it's also caught Mashiro out at the same time. 19.7 in the meantime from Venom. We stick on board with the Ferrari. Honey Badger, an invalid lap. That was perfectly timed, that commentator's curse, if I've got to be honest. But Venom leading the way. Navy up there in second, Siege third. Very tricky, these chicanes. Cowboy's retired from the session as well. Oh, Venom getting very close over the curb there. Could have easily picked up an invalid lap, but he doesn't. Venom now up towards the second sector split, which is a 42.2 through the middle sector. Came through slightly late, but it's a 42.2 middle sector from Venom, and this is looking pretty good for the Scotsman. Could he turn a very good night into an even better one? Obviously not DNFing out of that first race, but he drove very well nonetheless, reaching nearly 18,000 RPM. Venom attacking the race of champion chicane through 13 and 14, and what is the lap time? Whoa, my goodness me, it's a 1:11.2 from Venom. Slight timing glitch there from Venom, but he comes across the line in P1. There might have been a slight desync in the time, so hopefully it's not like that in the race. But it is Venom who has took it by 0.2 of a second. 1:11.246 for Venom, and 1:11.407 for Navy, who has gone into second. Siege in third, hoping to continue on some good form. Good qualifying by Casper, who's up down to fourth. Charlie in fifth. Mays in sixth. Graham in seventh. Sean in eighth. Bart in ninth. Came across the line 3 seconds behind Venom. Cowboy, Chapoletti, Conti, Mashiro, Honey Badger. Cowboy actually retired, starting from 10th. He tried to do a last to first challenge, I think. But the rest picked up invalid lap times out on track, which is not how you want to start this race at all, on the back of an invalid lap. Really struggling now though with my voice, but we are going to go once again for 18 laps worth of racing here in Canada. And as I say, who are your predictions on? Let me see if we've got any more comments that have filtered through in that comment section, or any reaction through on Discord as well. As I say, hopefully this is going to be fantastic. Hopefully we're going to see some good action as always. So let me just have a look at, see if there's been any reaction in the Discord. There hasn't been any reaction in the Discord, which I think is very glad on all of us. But looking at how everyone is doing in the comment section. No new comments coming through, but Venom leads us off onto 18 laps worth of beautiful sunny weather, and Venom leads us off from the formation lap. Navy second, everyone else getting off to a very staggered start, it seems. No, who was that not started? Cowboy has not started on the grid. The Cowboy, I think, waiting until the cars come round. Pumpkinhead man there. Venom, though, coming round through the first sector. And again, these guys are on dry compounded tyres. And just to speak about what happened back in 2010 as well. Venom, obviously in 2010 in Canada, it was a dry race. And the winner of the 2010 Canadian Grand Prix, for anybody's quiz question out there who didn't put in the comment section and were very much afraid to answer who won the 2010 Canadian Grand Prix and didn't Google it like I asked of people, it was Lewis Hamilton who took the win in 2010. From Jenson Button, it was a McLaren 1-2, and Fernando Alonso finished in third. The fastest lap during the race was Robert Kubica on lap 67 in the Renault, and of course formerly a Williams driver as well. 1:16.9 for Robert Kubica there in the Renault. But Lewis Hamilton took it from Jenson Button second, Fernando Alonso in third position. Of course, is the street circuit, and we have now got 18 laps once again in front of us out on track as we come through the Quebec wall, past the wall of Champion Chicane, and we see the action from the grid, and hopefully we're going to have Cowboy underway as well. Hopefully he hasn't gone for a toilet break or anything like that, and I hope he'll be starting the race. My hay fever's beginning to kick in now, which is not great, but 18 laps worth of action about to begin once again. Race 2 of round 3 about to begin here in Canada. The 5 red lights about to go out, and it is lights out, away we go. Everyone's got off to a good start. Venom gets off to a very good start. Navy, oh, Navy's lost it on. He's coming to Casper and Navy. Casper out of the race. Navy, it was Conti, sorry, that got a bad start. And my apologies, it was Cowboy, I think, that got, yeah, it was, who was it? It was Mashiva, I think, was it? I'm very, very much unsure. Venom leads though, Siege in second, Graham in third. I think it was Mashiva actually, who might have spun off the start. It wasn't, it was a bit of lag, which is unbelievable. It was Casper who spun off the start. My apologies, it was Casper who spun off the start. Venom leads though, Siege in second, Graham in third, Charlie fourth, Sean in fifth, Sean on the back. Look at the action in behind though, Chapelletti trying to go around the outside of Navy. Looking at the early position gains, Honey Badger has gained 5 positions, slight bit of contact there, Chapelletti's into the wall, and Chapelletti looks out of it. Chapelletti into the wall, looks out of the race, and is retired on track as well. Unfortunate for Chapelletti, he leaves the session. Don't blame him, to be honest. Really not getting any better for Chapelletti. Sean on the back though of Charlie and Sean. Finding out Sean hopefully going to be having a cleaner race this time. And actually, Sean goes across the curb. There's a bit of lag being picked up here, which I do apologise for. Mays on the back of Navy. Honey Badger's had a spin in the background as well, through the wall of Champion Chicane, through the Quebec wall. Navy trying to go around the outside of Mays. Bart up to 8th, doing quite well. There are other position gains as I show you out on track. 4 positions gained for Graham, 3 for Conti, 3 for Honey Badger, and Honey Badger actually retires from the race. So Honey Badger's retired from the race. That's a turn 2 where he's retired that car. One of these guys just aiming away wasteful points, to be honest. Navy trying to go around the outside of Mays. Oh, brilliant stuff. That is sensational from Navy. Great respect as well from Mays. Trying to come back at him actually is Mays. But Navy has just creamed Mays around the outside. Unreal move around the outside. I think that was through into turn 6. And Navy is thrown. He's up to 6th position. Absolutely unreal stuff. Boss trying to get onto the back as well as Conti. Everyone else though is very much spread out by over a second, which is disappointing for me. But I can just calm down my voice slightly and hopefully not get too excited. Mays now on the back. Slight bit of lag issues and desyncing issues going on here, it seems. I do apologise. And I'm set to new passes that other race. He leads by 1.7 seconds from Siege in second Graham in third, Charlie in fourth, Sean in fifth, Navy in sixth, Miz seventh, Bart in eighth, Conti in ninth, and it's Cowboy in 10th, and Shiro down into 11th position. And I'm already pulling out that gap for 2 seconds. Mightily impressive so far, out on track. And Casper coming in with a comment, of course. Just his day, I think, for Casper. And unfortunately, he drove a good race there in race 1, obviously in race 2. Not going his way right from the start, and I'm sure he'll be back next week for the final round and be a lot more competitive and certainly try and thrive with some of the guys around him. Charlie on the back though of Graham. This is down towards the wall of champion chicane once again. No DRS, no ERS, and I'm leading 1.8 seconds. Siege in second, Graham in third. Graham coming under pressure though. Ferrari not really that quick down the straight line speed. Charlie though might have just granted him a lifeline with a 3-second time penalty. And into new fastest lap of 1:12.1. Coming up a little bit, there's a bit of a timing glitch going on here. Venom's new fastest lap came across the line about 10 seconds after he came across the line, which is quite strange. But anyways, Charlie on the back of Graham. Sean has picked up a 3-second time penalty. He's slightly out of shape there. Navy beginning to hunt into play as well. We're right on board with Conti, who was on the back of Bart. Bart, of course, from Project Cars 2. 2 times in 3 races he has lost his rear wing. Hopefully no rear wing damage here tonight in TTL Classic Series. The boy on the back as well. Trying to get any much closer. Bart very close to the wall there. Bart, in fact, getting so close to the wall, he's onto the grass and he's not concentrating, it seems. Conti trying to take full advantage. Cowboy trying to take full advantage as well. Bart is all over the place, it seems. Conti now, and Cowboy probably just misses a gear. And Bart will be hoping not to get double swamped. Cowboy will be hoping to try and get both of them here. He's reached an RPM limit, he tries to floor it again. Bart will let him through. Cowboy's through, he's had to cut the chicane. And actually, he doesn't get a penalty for it, which is absolutely Pumpkin Man hacks there, I think, from Cowboy. But trying to get onto the back, not close enough though. Battle's developing for third. Graham just shooting up the road slightly. Charlie now beginning to come under a little bit of pressure from Sean and Navy. Venom, by the way, leading. 1:11.9, the new fastest lap of the race. Sean on the back. Bart actually has spun, I do believe. No, actually, Bart has just let everyone through, I think. Unsure about that one. Oh, Sean very close to the wall. Makes a very much a bad mistake there. Now Navy is going to try and take full advantage of this. Down into the hairpin. Very close, like Hamilton and Button in 2010. Navy and Sean this time doing battle here on TTTV. In the TTL Classic Series. I think Navy has just about got the legs down the straight. Let's see from Sean's perspective. Look at the straight line speed. Sean going to try and go around the outside of him. He'll try and stay committed. He has to give out very much in the last minute there as well. But Navy has got the move done and is up to 5th. We are a third of the way through now in the TTL Classic Series for race 2 here tonight. Round 6 essentially of the championship in round 3, but race 6. Venom leads, Siege in second, Graham in third, Charlie 4th, Navy 5th. Sean in 6th, Maze in 7th, Conti in 8th, Cowboy in 9th, Bart now in 10th, and Mashiro in 11th. Going to try and set the new fastest lap of the race once again, it seems. Of course, the fastest lap point does pay for an extra point to achieve the driver's standings. Oh, Sean getting very close to the wall there. Not sure if that's a little bit of lag. In fact, there's a lot of lag happening now on my end. I do apologise. I'm not sure what is going on. Hopefully that might have just fixed it. Venom leading though by 3 seconds. Siege in 2nd, Graham in 3rd, Charlie in 4th, Navy in 5th, Sean in 6th, still as they were. And it seems like the connection has improved itself, which I'm very glad to report. Mason 7th, Conti in 8th. Honey Badger leaves the session. We thank him though for attending and for competing here tonight. Venom leads though, 3 seconds the gap. Very close to the wall there, Charlie on the X of the wall of champion chicane. Lap 7 out of 18 for race 2, and it's still Venom, Siege, Graham, Charlie, Navy, your top 5. Going on with Cowboy. Cowboy Showing some good pace now. He's on the back of Conti. This is for 8th position. He has dropped Bart quite considerably. The Irishman now trying to get the move done on the Dutchman. Of course, Navy is our lobby host. New fastest lap from Mashiro, 111.8. Really closing in on the guys ahead as well. And that's just what clean air can do for you around here in Canada. It's very good to see Callboy trying to take a deeper line there. Just feather the throttle just a little bit too much. Or just applied a bit of power, I should say, a little bit too much there, Callboy. And he's now lost about 2/10 of a second. Comes over the curb nicely. Of course, Callboy, I think, is joining our commentary team for next season, if I'm not mistaken. And he's certainly racing next season. He's certainly signed up. So Callboy going to be doing a fantastic job on the back here, trying to get Conti. Navy in the meantime on the back of Charlie. Graham as well, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Just a little bit of lag spike there again. Okay, here we go. Venom leads, Siege 2nd. Graham in 3rd. Okay, Charlie on the back of Graham. Trying to find a way through here. He cuts broadcast cam once again. Of course, if you've seen the recent announcement today for F1 2020 in real life, they're going to be having the Amazon Web Services insights added into the F1 coverage. Of course, AWS and F1 have partnered up, so they're going to be showing both in the real life Formula 1, and they're also going to be showing the Amazon Web Services insights apparently during league racing as well, which is fantastic on the F1 2020 game. I'm sure that is going to enhance your experience of watching our streams even further out on track. Even though this one has not got the graphics and is not professionally produced, with Tom obviously being behind the scenes, I'm sure he will give you a wave if you saw him, but that is to look forward to for TTML. And of course, as I say, we've got that event that I'll come on to at the end of the stream as well. Charlie in the meantime against Navy. Oh, Charlie very much late on the brakes, has compromised his run. Here comes Navy, battle the McLarens once again. This is the 4th. Navy on the inside line, Charlie on the outside line, battle the late breakers. Charlie's still there, he's still got the car pretty much alongside. There's a yellow flag in sector 3, it's Bart that is round, but Navy's got the move done, he's up to 4th. Navy, good move there, he's up to 4th, and Bart actually might have had contact with Callboy, because Bart is into the pit. Callboy has retired in the pit lane as well, so both of them possibly having some sort of coming together. Callboy out of the race, Bart into the pit certainly. He gets fastest lap, of course. It will be an extra point onto his points total. As with anyone with fastest lap actually, and fastest lap currently is Mashiro, 111.8. And Bart's best of 114.1. He's got a mountain to climb if he wants to get the fastest lap. He's got to try and have a higher Daniel Apt, I think, to go in his car tonight for the rest of the race. Navy trying to get onto the back of Graham. He's disposed of Charlie quite comprehensively by 9/10 of a second, and now Navy closes in on Graham once again. And through 13 and 14 once again. Now down towards the Virage corner through turns 1 and 2. Dave M on the back of Graham. Navy on the back here of the Irishman. Of course, the Irishman, recent addition into our comms team. Announced today. Navy's trying to get the move done here right on the back. Take on board. With a beautiful broadcast cam. Mashiro improved his fastest up by a 10th, 111.7 from Mashiro. Very much struggling now though with my voice. But Navy on the back. Oh, Graham. Well, back on board with him. Flick through R1. Give you guys the best camera angles as I can. Even though I've got very limited controller setup I'm using for my coverage. Venom leading 4.3 seconds. Here is Navy though on the back of Graham. Charlie's getting back into contention as well, and goodness me, I didn't expect him to be that close. I thought it was 4/10 off, not right up the back of the gearbox on the back of Navy. Goodness me, but now Graham can come under a lot of pressure. But look at the straight line speed, look at the revving out of the RPM as well. 18,000 RPM being reached. And that was pretty much 3/4 of the way down the straight when that was being reached. Navy on the back of Graham once again. Not close enough this time around. Charlie's getting back into this. Graham possibly holding up Navy slightly here. In terms of the championship, Navy biting back at Mashiro. Mashiro obviously picking up a very good result in race 1. And obviously with Mashiro being further down the field, Navy will be picking up further points compared to Mashiro out on track. But it's still Venom who leads. We're about to go 2/3 of the way through this race. This middle half of the race just seems to have gone by quite slowly, to be honest. Venom leading, Siege in second. And then it is Graham in third. Navy's still on the back and forth. Charlie fifth, Sean in sixth. And now four-way battle for third. Potentially getting going right here. You see Navy on the back of Graham once again. Get on board with the POV camera shot. And demonstrate, you can see how close he's getting. Not close enough again. Try it down into turn one maybe, but Graham much better at it. Sean, 3-second time penalty. Put across, but gain time on Charlie in behind. You see them fly through shop. Beautiful voices. Beautiful engine sound of the V8s. And maybe right on the back of Graham. This is say he's still for third position. Oh, a little bit of a mistake there by Sean in the background. Just lost 0.2 of a second, 0.3 of a second possibly there. Charlie, 3-second time penalty again. Might be a second one I think he's picked up. And maybe cannot find a way through past Graham. Haven't done a sterling job though. Siege second. We'll see, you can pretty much guarantee now. Or first and second. Good to see as well, I think. Obviously Sean having a bit of contact with Venom in the last race. Venom now leading and dominating, which he really took from the get-go of this race. Navy getting closer. Is it this time for Navy to try and get through on Graham? Oh, bit of a half look, but no. In the end, and he slides out the corner, and that actually gives Graham a bit of an advantage. About 4/10 coming across the line now. Sean trying to get onto the back of Charlie in sixth. Conti is catching up to Mays in seventh as well. Mays in seventh, Conti in eighth. Two McLarens fighting each other here. 1/10 of a second separating. Navy though, right back on board with Navy. On the back of Graham, current championship leader. And Graham is really excelling these TTL, in these classic cars. And now Navy, is it this time for Navy? Switches to the inside line, darting down the inside. Very good respect between them both. Oh, just about keeping control of the car, Graham. Not really happy with that, to be honest. Gets a little bit of tyre wear off the car. Charlie trying to dive it down the inside as well. Could be gang up on Graham time. Oh, Graham's had a bit of a half spin out the corner. No touch there with Charlie. You might have just saw that on your screen. There's definitely no touch. Take this from Sean's perspective. Sean's already reaching 190 down the straight. Here comes Charlie and Graham now. Side by side. Charlie. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful stuff by Charlie. Round the outside into the chicane. It takes nerves and balls of steel right there. Graham though is going to come back at him. Has a half look, not quite. Charlie with nerves and balls of steel, quite literally, to go round the outside there is one thing, but to do it with minimal effort is another. Charlie soon is up to fourth, and he absolutely creamed Graham right back into fifth position. Simple as that. Charlie now up to fourth, Graham down to fifth, and Sean on the back in sixth. And now Sean eyeing up an opportunity. Just put it this way, Graham has lost 3 positions within the space of a lap possibly, and now Sean down the inside realises he's a little bit late on the brakes and backs out and moves right at the last minute. Going to tempt him for trying, I think. Wait until the straight next time, I think, for Sean. And now under a little bit of pressure, you can see a little bit of lag there, but Graham just trying to gain the time on Sean. These cars are very quick up to 190 mile an hour. I think these cars reach something like 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds or something like that. Graham fifth, Sean in sixth. Oh, that might have been costly for Sean. 4.5 tenths. Doesn't take the deeper line through the curve in towards turn one. Deeper line, of course, is sticking right towards where the grass is on the right hand side. Conti though in the meantime on the back of Mays. Again, Dutchman trying to find a way through here on the Brit. Really good racing out on track from everyone. Venom has dominated out and put Siege in second. Navy has just dominated now for third. Charlie fourth. Sean though in sixth position. Can I once again get onto the back of Graham? We have only got 3 more laps to go after this one. My voice is getting very, very bad now. Come on, we can still go. We can still continue on. Sean down the inside on Charlie. Sean down the inside on Graham, I should say. Apologies. Graham holds firm. Oh, Sean. Now on the back. This is it. He's got the car just about ahead. Reached 190 down the straight and job done for Sean. He's up into 5th position. Picks up a 3-second time penalty. Runs over a little bit of front wing damage. It might have came off Charlie there. It's only a car ahead's damage. Venom leading, Siege in second. Navy in third, but good move there by Sean to get through on Graham, and he's up into 5th position out on track. Graham in 6th. Yeah, Charlie doing a fantastic job in 4th. Got watch back about 5 or 10 minutes ago because he really did a great move around the outside of, I think it was Graham if I'm not mistaken, and the inside, around the outside into the chicane through turns 13 and 14. Fantastic stuff. Conti now on the back of Mays is the only battle now and we're going to cover because the rest is now ebbed away completely. And Mashiro's not entirely out of this either. He's 1.8 seconds behind the Japanese man. Bart into the pits has been lapped. Bart may continue on for points. No, it's not really consistency that's the key. It's picking up points, and picking up points to land himself in 11th position currently in the standings. Bart coming into tonight. Conti though again on the back of Mays. I'm trying to get close to the back of Mays. He just can't. On to the final 2 after we go. Venom leads, Siege second, Navy third, Charlie fourth, Sean in 5th, Graham 6th, Mays 7th, Conti in 8th, Bashir on 9th, and in fact, Bart has now been lapped by the entire field. Bart has now been lapped by the entire field out on track. Bashir, that Red Bull really getting going through the corners. He's just second off. He's getting 0.8 of a second in absolutely no time. Mays, Conti and Mashiro. This is possibly for 7th position. Venom, by the way, coming down the straight to start what will be the final lap of the race when he comes across the line. Venom who leads, Siege in second. Conti, 3-second time penalty being picked up for multiple warnings. That was cut across through the chicane at turn 8. Venom leading though, Siege second. Through to turn 10 we go. Siege, 3-second time penalty. That's through the final chicane. But Venom leading. Siege in second, Navy third. I think that's going to be your top 3 barring any penalties, but I think Charlie's outscoring Navy currently on penalties. Mashiro though, we're still on board with the Red Bull man as he tries to close in, and that's what we don't right on board with him because he picked up a 3-second time penalty. Getting a little bit of a bump draft there actually, Mays. He's had a much better run out compared to Mays. Returns 1 and 2. Mashiro will be wanting for another lap. He'll be wanting actually for these two to battle and these two to make equally enough mistakes and Mashiro to get through. Venom, by the way, up towards the hairpin at turn 10. Leading the way. He's down 10 seconds now to the back of Siege. Conti trying to fight desperately, find a way through, and I don't think he's going to find a way through, to be honest. That might have been the nail in this coffin, but here comes Mashiro. Mashiro to the inside line. Trying to go for the move, doesn't. But Venom is about to come around the final corner. It's been a dominant performance for the Scotsman out on track. He's really excelled. From lights to flag, Venom is your race 2 winner here in Canada. Siege will be across the line in second. I'm jumping back though to this battle for 7th, 8th and 9th. Mays has not secured it just yet. Neither is Conti for 8th and neither is Fushima for 9th. This could all easily change. Conti, Mashiro, much better speed in through the corners. Navy across the line in 3rd, Graham up to 4th. Charlie as a result of penalties down to 5th. Mays across the line in 6th, no penalties. Mashiro 7th, Sean in 8th, Conti in 9th. Bart is still continuing out on track, and he will come across the line in 10th position. Not really been his race at all. Bart across the line to pick up more points, and he finishes in P10. But that is the end of the action tonight here in the TTL Classic Series, and it is a win for Venom. The Scotsman has taken it out on track. A dominant win from Lights the Flag, as I say. Siege just finished in second. Very boring race, I think, from his perspective. He really didn't have anyone around him. Navy making his way through the field as well, up into third position. And now Los Toriados plays for the final time here tonight in the TTL Classic Series. We will return once again next week for the final round of the Classic Series, where, if I am not mistaken, we are going to be going to Belgium, to Spa. We're going to go to Spa Francorchamps next week for the Belgian Grand Prix. But it is Venom who is taking the win from Siege in second. Dave M finishing in third, that's Navy of course. Graham in fourth. Charlie in fifth. Mays no penalties, up to sixth, with Mashiro in seventh. Sean really missing out on the penalties there, 9 seconds worth. In 8th, Conti in 9th, Bart in 10th, Cowboy, Honey Badger, Chapelelli and Casper not finishing out on track. Standings wise on your screen, Siege picked up the most amount of points out on track. Charlie was second, Graham was third, Venom was fourth. But of course, don't judge that by the standings out on track, judge it by the point system standings that we've got for the Classic Series. But that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching here in the TTL Classic Series. It has been an absolute pleasure to commentate solely without a drink and in pure 20-odd degree heat. It has been my absolute pleasure to commentate for you guys. Hopefully, as I say, Aiden will recover from his sore throat and cough, and he will be back next week, fitter than ever. And I'm sure he'll be back for the Belgian Grand Prix, where, of course, we saw the 1998 fiasco on lap 1. Are we going to see something similar in the 2010 cars here in 2020? We'll just have to tune in and find out next week. But from myself, James Head, thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Please look after yourselves as well. Stay healthy. And we will see you the next time we will be live for TTTV, by the way. It will be on Thursday night, and that is going to be for TTL Sprint Cup, and that is going to be myself and Kieran McGinley going to be taking you through that one for round 3. So until then, I've been James Head. Thank you so much for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Please look after yourselves. Stay healthy, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.